Hey guys, it's David, and wow, it has been a long time since I've held a camera in front of me, but I'm excited to tell you guys that we're back. We are back on the road after living a more traditional life in a house and working jobs in the city. After just 1 year of doing that, that's all we could take. We decided that, you know what? Full-time RVing and traveling really is the way to live for us. We had various frustrations that we'll dig into here shortly that made us want to stop traveling. We thought that going back to living in a house was going to be the way for us. But yeah, after doing that for a year, it really just hit home that no, we had it right when we first hit the road, and this is the way for us. But this time, there's a twist to how we're traveling. You see two rigs behind me. This one over here, this motorhome, is actually Ro's motorhome, and the truck and trailer, are all mine, but we'll dig into that more later as well. This video is the big announcement video that I'm back making videos and that we're back traveling full-time in RVs, but I also wanted to take the time to explain to you guys why we originally stopped traveling. We did make a post on YouTube and our social media accounts and on Patreon explaining why we stopped, and that was kind of like our farewell to you guys, but I understand that not everyone saw that, and so hopefully by making this video kind of helps you understand more of the thought process of why we stopped traveling, because that happens all the time. People hit the road, start RVing full-time, and then realize it's not for them, and then settle back down. But man, let me tell you, as soon as we hit the road again, it was just like instant. We're just like, no, this is definitely for us, and we made a mistake settling down. One of the main frustrations that we dealt with in the months leading up to us settling back down was the stress and anxiety that came along with finding cell signal so that Ro could still work. At the time, she was working a remote job, and so it was critical that we had cell service at the places that we were camping at so that Ro could work Monday through Friday. And you guys know us, the way that we camp is off-grid. We're boondocking constantly. Where we're at right now, we're at Lassen Creek Campground in California in the Warner Mountains, the Modoc National Forest. There is no cell signal here. And so, these are the type of campsites that we love the most. Staying in places like this, off the grid, is part of what makes this lifestyle so special for us. And so we really had to struggle to find campsites that had signal so that Ro could work. And unfortunately, that ruled out a lot of sites for us. We would get to a spot thinking, maybe we would have cell signal there because it showed on either Verizon or T-Mobile's coverage map that there was service there, and we would get there, nope, no service. And then we would kind of freak out because, we would travel on a Saturday or a Sunday, the days that Ro would have off, and we would get to our site and we wouldn't have signal and we wouldn't really know what to do. It happened time and again where we would have to be traveling on a Sunday for whatever reason. So we didn't have like a day buffer to go searching for another campsite. And we would get somewhere, not have signal, and oh man, it was just so stressful. Before Ro started working her remote job, this wasn't that big of a deal with us. It was more of a preference. Obviously, we would highly prefer to have cell signal at our campsite, but while doing YouTube, that was our main source of income for both of us. It wasn't as big of a deal. We would only really need cell service to either respond to emails, comments, or to upload videos. And so we could always just drive to Signal to upload the videos then. But now we have Starlink. And so we can stay in places like this that don't have cell service, and we're fine. If I remember correctly, back when we stopped traveling, Starlink was available, but they didn't have their roam option or their RV option. And so it was a lot more of a hassle moving from like cell to cell. And when I say cell, I mean a Starlink cell. you weren't really, it was a lot more of a hassle. We didn't really want to deal with that. We didn't really know if it would work properly. But once Starlink came out with their RV or their roam option, which was after we stopped traveling, it's seamless now. It's flawless. So as long as we have open skies, we can get internet. I am a little frustrated with how open the skies need to be, but it's still an option. It gives us more flexibility now to have internet in these remote areas. And then also, unfortunately, we were experiencing a lot of YouTube burnout. I'm not gonna go way into depth with this, but it's definitely a thing. People that have been on YouTube for a long time will start experiencing burnout, and going back into a more traditional way to earn a living. I was a sales engineer for the time that Ro and I were living in Seattle in a house this past year. And it just really drove home why I stopped doing that in the first place. I'm a mechanical engineer. That's what my education is in. I have a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I hated it. And so I thought, maybe if I go on the sales side of things, then I'll like that more, because I do enjoy sales. But man, I didn't like that either. And it just really drove home how great YouTube is to earn a living. It provides a ton of flexibility. I love being self-employed. I love, working my own schedule. I'm very capable of being self-motivated, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. I think the YouTube burnout was more of an issue that was compounding things. It wasn't the main issue. Like I said, the stress and anxiety of not being able to have internet at a lot of the places we wanted to go was the main problem, causing the main anxiety. And then this was just like another thing stacked on top of that. And then the straw that broke the camel's back was the breaking of our main camera. Yes, pun intended there. In February, March of 2022, I was out filming and I dropped our main camera. It's a Lumix G9, and it had a $1,000 lens on it. And yes, the lens broke too. So it's like a $2,000. I basically just set $2,000 on fire with the breaking of the camera and the lens. And oh man, that was just so disheartening. So we were already feeling really stressed, really anxious about traveling full-time RVing in general, and experiencing YouTuber burnout. And then man, just the loss of that camera was, it was just so disheartening. I was just so down and out about that. And I'm filming right now with our backup camera, which is the camera that we started this channel with, our old Sony a6000, old reliable, for real. This thing has been a champ, but now that I'm gearing back up into YouTube, I'm either going to replace that camera and lens or try to get them repaired. It's going to be expensive, but it's worth it because that camera is just so much better than the one I'm using right now. But yeah, that was when that camera broke. Man, that was it. I remember coming home to Ro while after getting back from filming the video that I was filming at the time, and just feeling so depressed and so down about everything. And yeah, Ro was trying to, talk me up and make me feel better, but I just remember telling her, looking her in the eyes and just telling her, I think I'm done. All right, now that we've got all the sad stuff out of the way, we can get to talking about why we're back. Now, it may sound silly, but we hit the road for all the same reasons that we originally wanted to hit the road. We were just kind of bored. Not kind of, we were extremely bored with our rigid day-to-day routines. Just every day, every week sort of felt the same, and kind of felt boxed in, and we needed to break away. There are still so many things that we haven't explored yet, so many places, parts of the country, other countries that we haven't gotten to see, and that was just eating at us. We were like, why are we staying cooped up in this city when we could be out experiencing the world? And city life in general for Ro and I is just very stressful and anxiety inducing. Just just being around all the noise and the busyness, I don't know, everything about it just gives me anxiety. I don't feel at peace in those types of environments. And I knew that I do feel at peace out traveling, out in nature, places like this. It's just so invigorating to me. It breathes life into me. It feeds my soul. And I miss that. And it's, as soon as we hit the road, we've actually been on the road since, I've been on the road since June, because I stayed back to sell a lot of the things that still needed to be sold that we had purchased for the house, like furniture and stuff. We had a car that got better gas mileage than my diesel truck that we had bought because I had to commute to and from work. So I had to hang back and sell that. But Ro has been on the road since April. And so we've been on the road for a little while now. But the reason we haven't made a video until just now is because we didn't know if we were going to get back into YouTube. But, you know, I recently made the firm decision that I want to start this again. I really enjoy making videos for you guys and interacting with you, and I just wanted to get back to that. And one of the biggest things that I missed is finding new campsites. It's so exciting to me, searching around on Google Satellite View, the DYRT, other resources, freecampsites.net, trying to find these remote campsites out in the middle of nowhere, and you don't really know if they're going to be good or not until you get there, because you've only like heard reviews, or you know, you found it on Google Satellite, found like an open spot off of a national forest road, or you know, some dirt road in the desert. So you don't really know if it's going to be great until you get there. And so there's like a lot of suspense when you turn down that forest road or get off of the highway onto the dirt road in the desert, and you're driving in. The suspense is building. Is it going to be good? Is it going to suck? Am I going to have to find another one? And then you get there and it's just beautiful. Oh, it's such a rush. It's a real rush for me. I just like laugh. Ro and I high five each other. We're like, yes, we found another good one. And I've just really missed that. And then when it comes to YouTube, you know, I've already talked about this a bit, but final points on that is that I've really missed the freedom that it gives me and the creative outlet that it provides, that I just didn't have in previous, more traditional jobs. The searching for good camera angles and thinking about what to say to you guys and editing the videos together and then watching it when I'm finished and being like, yes, I made this thing. And hopefully people are gonna watch it and enjoy it. And maybe if I did a good job, it'll enrich their lives. That's really fulfilling to me. And the interaction I get from you guys, you know, we have been like a community, and I love reading your guys' comments and responding back to them. It brings me a lot of life satisfaction, and I've been really missing that also. And in the end, despite all the negatives that come from earning a living making YouTube videos, like the big ones is you're self-employed, so there's no benefits, no 401k, no employer health insurance or anything like that, which makes things a little difficult, but it's just worth it to me. And now to answer the big question that you've probably all been wondering about since the start of this video: why 2 rigs? Well, to be quite honest, we were renting an 1,100 square foot house north of Seattle, and we really got used to having more space. You know, going from 1,100 square feet down to just 180 square feet that our travel trailer has, no slides, nothing like that. It's just gonna be too cramped. And we also got used to having our own space. You know, there were 2 offices that Ro and I worked out of. My job was hybrid, and so sometimes I worked from home in my office, and that was my space. And Ro had her own office too in the home because she worked fully remotely, and that was her space. And Ro is really into decorating and making spaces feel a certain way, and she wanted to be able to do that fully. And so this is, an experiment that we're having. What's it like having 2 rigs? What kind of flexibility is that going to give us? What kind of challenges are there going to be with that? And so far, it's actually been kind of nice having our own spaces. And so this is something we may switch up in the future. It's actually probably pretty likely that we'll switch it up. We've had the travel trailer forever now, going on like 7 years now. And so I might decide to do something different with the travel trailer. Ro might do something different than the current motorhome she's got. Who knows what we'll do in the future, but yeah, this is something we're giving a try. And Ro picked up quite a few new hobbies and interests while we were settled back down that she didn't want to have to give up, because if we lived in just the trailer, she wouldn't have space for all those things. And she's really gotten into crafting as well. And there is just not enough room in this little travel trailer for stuff like that. And so, yeah, honestly, both of us, we both just needed more storage space in general. My goal is to eventually work back to putting out 1 video a week like we always have in the past. But in the beginning, as I ramp back up, it might be a little less frequent than that, but I'm going to try to get there as soon as possible. We'll share our off-grid RV lifestyle, the incredible places that we visit, and of course, RV DIY projects, maintenance, and upgrade videos. But this is an exciting time. Life feels wide open again and not restricted by a single address and rigid daily routines. And who knows what the future holds for us? But therein lies the excitement. Our fate is unbound once again.